There we go.
Hello, hello.
How's it going, Allison?
Did you do
Oh,
that?
you look frozen to me.
Oh no. Is that better?
You like a
Is that
stop motion
better?
video? You're getting better. You're
No.
slowly.
Okay. Okay.
Oh
I think
wait,
it's
there you go.
because I think it's because I airdropped something to my computer.
Your computer doesn't believe in multitasking, Allison.
I know. Well, it's because I needed to upload these, and I'm still working on it, by the way. I need to upload the listener shout out that we're gonna get to
Oh,
later.
I'm excited for that. I guess
I
as we
know.
get set up here, how was your break? Are you still on vacation? Did you give yourself an actual break?
I mean, oops, my bad. Don't look at this spreadsheet, Chris. Did I give myself an actual break? So my kids were off all last week, and I worked 15 hours last week. So I normally work like 30, like cut in half. So break-ish, I guess.
You had a great frozen image on the screen there.
What is
You're
it?
back to normal. You had a
Okay.
very crazy face going. I
What,
enjoyed
what
it very much.
can you show me what it looked like?
It was like this.
I mean, what about you?
Oh,
How was your Christmas, your holiday
it was
season?
it was a nice break. I at least gave myself with 2 days off without doing anything, so that was nice. It was
Okay,
great to just kind
okay.
of relax and do
Yeah.
nothing and not worry about doing work and all this other stuff. But that was about it. But also, Allison, before we start, we need to be recording ourselves for the
Oh
actual
my gosh,
podcast.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thanks to the couple of people who are already in here joining us over on
Hello, hello,
YouTube.
welcome.
How's it going? You can see us as we're remembering all the things we didn't do. Last episode, I don't know if anyone noticed. You probably didn't even notice, Allison, because we
Heck
didn't.
no, I didn't
We forgot
notice.
to record ourselves separately, so we only had the live stream audio to work with. It wasn't the best quality, but Allison, you probably didn't care. I don't think most
No,
people noticed.
no. Okay, I'm recording.
All right, perfect. So I am going to be. All right, there we go. Let me turn that off because I can hear myself. There we go. All right.
Do we need
So
clap?
what we need to do, everyone, this is how we sync up our audio. We clap before we start recording, so that way we can line it up later.
Or
All right, you
before
want to
we
count us
start?
in?
Yeah,
Oh
okay,
yeah,
yes, here
before
we
we
go.
start.
Ready? We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, clap. Okay, ready?
All right,
1, 2, 3, clap.
there we go.
So off. But
It
anyway,
looks perfect on mine.
okay, well, it did it on mine. I just need you to fly to Texas when we record. That would be super convenient. Can
Yeah,
you work that into your budget?
no problem at all. I think a
Okay, great.
bi-weekly flight to Texas wouldn't cost, nothing, peanuts.
Oh, that's yeah. Nothing.
All
Okay.
right, so do you want to get it started in?
Yes. Okay. So I became good friends with this girl, Kate, on Instagram. I met her through Instagram because that's a thing these days. Chris and I know we met through Instagram and became good friends. And so I met with her. I met her. Her name is Kate. She's at That Debt Free Life. She's awesome. And when I moved to our current city where we live now, she lives in this town. And so I was
Hmm.
like, oh my gosh, like we should actually hang out outside of this. So I was messaging her on Instagram. We exchanged phone numbers. And this was like, I don't know, like a year and a half ago. I texted her. I said, hey, I'm going to this event. Do you want to come? And she said, sure, I'll meet you there. And so I go to this event, walking around, I'm waiting. There's all these people in this room. And I see her walk in and I start shouting, Kate, over here. And I'm kind of waving my hands. And no, she's not looking at me. And I'm like, Kate, hey, it's me, Allison. And she kind of sees me and she walks over. She goes, oh, I forgot to tell you, my name's not Kate. I was like, what? This is awkward.
Oh,
Oh, hey, this is Allison.
and this is Chris, and you're listening to This Is Awkward. So you never actually knew her real name. She was using a fake name for the internet.
Yes. So she's using a fake name for the internet. And I didn't know that. Now, if you other people knew she was using a fake name, but I wasn't following her closely enough. Sometimes she'll talk about it because she's a lawyer and she was putting out income reports and she was like, I don't want people to
Okay.
know my real information. And so she was like, my name's not Kate. I was like, can I know your real name? And she did. She told me her real name.
I thought you were going to say it on the internet for everyone to blow
Absolutely
her cover.
not. No. So she told me her real name. I don't know her last name. I think
She
she might have.
shouldn't trust you that much.
Well, I think she might have told me, but in my phone, I still have her as Kate, and in parentheses, I have her real name. So sometimes when I talk to my husband, I'll say Kate, and sometimes I use her other name interchangeably because we've hung out several times and we've even gotten our kids together to play. And he's always like, I don't know what her name is. And I'm like, it's okay. You can use both names. Like she'll answer to both of them to you. So it's really funny, but it was awkward because I was literally standing there in this crowded room, like waving and shouting someone's name, and no one was like responding. I felt like such an idiot.
They're all like, oh, there must be someone behind us she's yelling at.
Yeah. Or they were just like, look at this girl, thinking that like she's clearly alone and has no friends, and she's just shouting out some like common name, hoping someone's gonna say something. I don't know.
It's like yelling Chris into a crowded room. Someone's gonna turn around.
Exactly. Someone's going to turn around. Absolutely. That's the way it works.
But see, that's not that bad. See, this is not a situation where you thought you knew someone's name and you really didn't. Like you knew the name she gave you. Like I've been in a situation where I've called someone the wrong name, and that is one of the most awkward situations I've ever been in. I don't call people by name anymore. Just say, hey, how's it going?
So my name's Allison.
Oh,
my husband is Matt. You've hung around us a lot, so just clearing the air. When you call me Ashley, that's wrong.
Actually, call you Allie.
Look at what just arrived.
Did you get your caffeine shipment? Oh, it showed up.
It showed up. Okay, so before we started recording,
yes.
Chris said, hey, did you get a package in the mail? And I was like, no. Should I have gotten something? And he said, yes, I sent you something. And I was like, oh, people have been stealing things out of mailboxes here. It's like they break in where the mailbox man, what would you call him? Mailman.
Yeah, the mailbox man. Yeah.
The mailbox man. He opened, where he gets the key and opens it up so he can see all the mailboxes and put everything in. Well, because of the holidays, people have been driving around neighborhoods in my area and breaking into them at like midnight, and they steal anything. So I thought maybe my package from you got stolen, but it's here. What is this? It looks like a book.
So I remember, I don't know what episode this was, but I said, you know what, this year I want to give people food for Christmas. And you also mentioned like, oh, you make sure you support like a Black-owned business. So I was like, oh yeah, that was definitely on my mind. And so I found this woman, she's a Black woman in Harlem, New York.
Yeah, she
who has a like artisanal chocolate company. And she makes these chocolate bars. Well, she makes a bunch of different things. So she makes these chocolate bars in the shape of brownstones. And the cover of the chocolate bars are pictures that she goes around Harlem and takes, or historical photos. And so that's what that is. I'm happy
oh my gosh, this is so cool. Look at this. Chris, this is so much better than my gift I got you, which was nothing because I forgot. It was air. It was my friendship. You are welcome.
So did you keep the receipt?
You're such a jerk. This is so neat. Thank you. And Matt just delivered it to me. It did not get stolen.
I'm happy it did. And I was like, oh crap, how do you fix a stolen box of chocolate? I was like, I'm going to figure that out.
You order another one. Look at this. This one's white chocolate. Oh my gosh, this just looks beautiful.
Look,
well done, Chris.
F39 said, well done. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's this woman, she runs this beautiful chocolate factory out in Harlem. I watched a video on her story. I was like, this is amazing. I definitely want to support what she's doing.
I have her social media.
Go for it.
At Harlem Chocolate Factory. We've got to tag her.
Oh yeah, we do. Can I write that on the screen?
I don't know if you can. Can you type? If so, the answer is yes.
So this is the Harlem Chocolate Factory.
At Harlem Chocolate Factory. Just make sure you spell everything correctly. I know how hard that is for you.
Yeah, typing on the fly here. There we go. Harlem Chocolate Factory. So if anyone's interested, if you want to go check out some of the great products that she's putting out over there and support not only a Black-owned business, but a business owned by a woman.
Small business. Yes. Woman-owned, Black-owned, small-owned business.
Small-owned. And I did it twice. So some people, like I got this for you, the chocolate. For one of our neighbors, I bought cookies from Maya's Cookies.
Okay.
It's a cookie shop out here in San Diego, California, just maybe a couple hours south of where I live. And also Black-owned, female-owned business.
Nice.
So I want to try to support these people.
I love it. Thank you so much. I know I almost don't want to eat it You know what? I don't care for dark chocolate, so maybe I'll just keep that one out.
Yeah, that'd be your decoration. I don't
Maybe
like
I
dark
could.
chocolate either.
Maybe I can. I mean, it's like, why are you trying to make chocolate healthy? There's no. Don't like. You already turned fruit healthy. You already made veg. Like, let's not try to make. People put zucchini in brownies. No, stop it.
Wait, who does that?
Yes, people try to hide zucchini and different things that kids eat and that adults eat. Yes. And I'm just like, stop it. Let brownies be brownies. And that's how I feel like dark chocolate. It's like, let chocolate be chocolate. Stop making it so dark and nasty and bitter.
Exactly.
Stop it.
Make it. It's supposed to be enjoyable. I'm not supposed to like need a drink of water immediately after it touches my tongue.
I want to indulge. Gosh. So thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
And this really supports my 2021 goals of losing weight. So for that, I say
hey, chocolate is basically health food, I'm just saying.
it's cocoa.
Yeah, it's cocoa. It's a plant. It's a vegetable. It's a vegetable. All right.
This is basically vegetarian. I'm vegan. Wait.
Well, anyways, that was awkward. And this is awkward. This is a show where we handle your awkward money situations and hopefully keep you from losing your friends and family along the way. I don't know. I don't know. I've gotten awkward now.
Chris is awkward.
Also, we recorded.
Yes. But if you want to be a part of our show, we would love, love, love for you to call in and share one of your awkward money stories. It could be something you're going through right now, or it could be something that happened in the past. And the phone number to call is 707-200-8259. And the good thing is that we're not going to pick up the phone and try to have awkward conversations with you. We're not going to take away your time. Just leave. It's going to be a voicemail. Leave us a message and we will even play it on this show.
Yes. And you being a part of the show is the best thing about this show. We love hearing
really
your voice and hearing your stories. And today we have one of your stories that someone sent in anonymously, which is definitely an option for all of you. You do not have to give us your name. This one is interesting. It's about a daughter whose mother is helping her watch her kids, but she's trying to figure out, do I pay her? Do I not pay her? Is it going to get weird? And we're going to jump into that later on after this quick break.
Yes. Today's call is brought to you blah, blah, blah. Oops. Let's try that again. Today, that wasn't awkward at all. Today's call is brought to you by our Patreon community. This is where we give out extra bonus episodes to our most loyal and incredible listeners who join our Patreon community. So, Chris, share a little bit about what our Patreon involves.
Yeah, so what I love about the show is that we get to sit here and discuss your awkward stories, but sometimes we have to cut it short. We only have so much time. There's other things we want to dive into. We want to go deeper into your stories. We want to go deeper into the awkward moments that we've all dealt with and then some of the things that we're loving. So Patreon allows us to give you all more content, put out more episodes for you each month. So when you join, you get at least two extra episodes every month. And what do we do? We talked about what we were getting for Christmas this year.
Yes.
We talked about what else? We talked about some of the things that we've really been loving and some things that maybe we're not really caring that much about anymore. Yes. And I'm also looking forward to in 2021 to talking about more of the stories that we've talked about here on the show, and also diving back in and getting some updates on some of those older awkward stories.
Absolutely. And what's so great is that it's affordable. So you can support This Is Awkward starting at just $5 a month, and you get access to so much amazingness. And honestly, one thing I love personally about our show is that it's very uplifting. It allows you to find another reason to find joy and laughter. And hey, don't they say that's the best medicine? So I'm pretty sure this is a really good prescription for anyone who wants more joy in their life.
Exactly. I mean, this is just like chocolate is basically a vegetable. This show is basically medicine. So
yeah,
just saying, get a couple extra doses by joining us on Patreon.
Oh, and you can do that by going to patreon.com/thisisawkwardpodcast or click the link in the show notes. Okay, let's go ahead and get into today's call about should I pay my mom? And I realized I put this in the wrong thing.
So Allison, she was like, don't worry, Chris, I'll take care of the show notes. I'll put this in here in the right place. I was like, okay, thanks, Allison.
But I didn't. But Chris, I think you have the call. Will you go ahead and read the message?
Yes, I will go ahead and read it.
Thank you.
I probably closed the window too.
My bad.
So let me bring that up here.
We're really prepared, guys.
Yeah. Did you see how ready we were for this? All right, here we go. I got it right here. Okay. So like I said, this story, I should say, this awkward message we received from an anonymous writer. They wrote in and said, I work part-time and my mom watches my babies while I work. We never discussed money or payments, so I assumed she was just watching them to help. Well, my husband makes really good money and we are really well off. I only work for my mental health and the benefits and ability to save for our future. It is very awkward though because my mom struggles financially and always complains about money and not having enough. But then when I send her money to thank her for watching my kids, she never addresses it or says thank you. I don't know what to do. Do I start to pay her? She acts awkward anytime money is involved, but I think it would really help her. Love the podcast. You guys keep me laughing. Thanks for always being so positive. So thank you, Anonymous, for sending in that call. And Allison, what are your thoughts after hearing this? Where does your mind go?
Okay, so my thoughts are, yeah, you need to pay your mom because, and even if she's not like, I guess you need to pay your mom, and you don't need to expect a thank you for her receiving the payment. You know, that her not being willing to say thank you or to talk about that has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your children. It has everything to do with her issues and her feelings, and that's not your job to fix them.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's not. But my thought is, okay, well, when I go to, I don't know, I was thinking when I pay a bill, they don't thank me, but sometimes I do get an automated like thank you. You know what I mean? But okay, like when my kids were in daycare, my kids are both in elementary school now, and let me tell you, it is the best thing ever. But when they were in daycare, I had it just automatically drafted out every single week. We would have money, and I never went in to drop my kids off, and they never said, "Oh, thanks for making your payment again." It was just like, it's okay. It's okay if she doesn't want to say thank you, but I do think that you should pay her because she is providing a service for you and you can afford it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And on top of that, I mean, you're saving thousands upon thousands of dollars by having your mother watch your kids.
Yes.
I mean, I don't have any kids, but my wife works at a daycare. Allison, you have kids you put in daycare. How much were you paying for daycare?
You know, it depends on the region you're in, but there were times we were sending about $1,500 to $1,600 a month to
you're
daycare.
Buying a house every month for someone to watch your kids.
Yes. I mean, really, it was more than our mortgage payment every single time. Now, when you only have one kid in, it's less, but when they're infants, it's more. It's a whole big thing. But regardless, you know, that is, you would be sending money if you didn't have her, and she's doing you a service. And so clearly, I don't think she's willing to talk about it. So you probably can't say like, well, how much would you like me to pay? Or can I pay you $200 a week or whatever? But I would just at the end of the month, send her a check. And as long as she's cashing them, keep sending them. Yeah.
Because she didn't say she gave the money back. She just said she didn't say thank you. And yeah, I'm thinking too, you know, she needs the money. She's providing a service for you. And maybe she's, I don't know. I'm definitely just inferring and, you know, putting in, you know, my own opinions on this, but it definitely sounds like maybe she might be a little hurt that you haven't been paying her all this time. Maybe that's why she's being kind of like awkward about it when you do give her money. Maybe she's like,
oh, so you're thinking that like for the past couple years or period of time, she hasn't been getting paid. And now all of a sudden she is.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think, well, that's what I took from it. Maybe I'm reading it into it wrong, but it sounds like maybe she wasn't paying her consistently. And when she finally gave her some money, the mom was like, you know, about time, thank you. Like, she didn't say that. Maybe that's what she was feeling. And maybe it's just the routine, the habit of you just set the precedent. Look, I know you're saying you don't want this, or you like it feels awkward for you to talk about money, but I'm going to give this to you anyways. And like you said, if she's taking the money, that means that she's accepts it and she's like,
okay with it.
She's okay with it. And I say go from there because she's doing a lot of work. Watching kids is a lot of work. I've only been around my friends' kids for like, you know, a couple hours, and that's a lot of work. They got a lot.
Chris told me he doesn't even want to meet my kids. No, I'm just kidding. He never said that.
I was like, can we? Let's just do like a FaceTime real quick, and then all right, we're good. I'll talk to them at graduation. But even Micah Smith agrees, Allison. She even agrees. We got to get this mom paid.
Yeah, she deserves to be paid for what she's doing. It is hard work. And regardless of if you feel uncomfortable paying her or if you feel uncomfortable because her response isn't what you wanted, like number one, she can't read your mind. So maybe she doesn't even know that you feel weird that she's not saying thank you. And number two, it's not your job to make sure your mom is comfortable. And that's something my mom taught me is I can't control what other people think about me or say about me or, believe about me. It's not my job to try to control that. So let it go. And then just keep paying her. I mean, as long as she's doing a good job, as long as your kids like it, as long as you like it, as long as you continue to have money to be able to do it, see it as a blessing, you know? When you can turn it around to say it is a blessing that I can make this money. It's a blessing that I have a job to work at. And it's a blessing I have someone so close to me that I know is going to treat my children well. You know, it no longer becomes this weird thing to pay her. It's just this obvious, like, of course I'm going to bless my mom. She's giving to me. I want to give to her. And it's just this, it's no longer necessarily about money. It's about, you know, giving to each other.
Yeah, exactly. And I can tell you this. I don't think your mom is ever going to say, pay me. I don't think those words are probably ever leave her mouth. Like, is it, because that's too awkward. The relationship between like parent and child is such a strong like hierarchy. Like she's never going to be like, you need it. I mean, I'm sure there's some people's mom would say that to them, but I think a lot of parents, they will not say, I need you to pay me, or I'm struggling with money. This would really help if you can give this to me. So I think you just have to make the assumption that infer on your own, one, I should pay her. Two, she needs this money. And just make your own payment schedule. Just act as if she's a formal daycare and you have this payment due on, you know, the first 15th, day of the month. Yeah, the 15th every month is going to be, I don't know, 2, 4, 5, whatever, how much money you think you should give her for that time. And go for it.
Another thing is if you feel like it's too awkward to actually physically hand over the check or hand over cash, you can set it up with your bank to just automatically send her a check once a month. Then it's arriving in the mail. You don't have to physically hand it over. She just accepts it and cashes it. Adds it to her account. So then that removes any of this conversation. If she feels uncomfortable talking about it, that's okay. You don't have to have a conversation about it, you know, unless those are some barriers, some walls you want to break through on.
Yeah, I love that one. And you know what? One thing I know, old people like checks. So send her a check in the mail. She'll love it. One, it's mail. It's like getting a letter. And then also it's
better because you're getting money. It's better than a letter.
If I would love getting letters, if all my letters were checks, that would be great. Sign me up.
I totally agree.
So, Allison, what would you say? Your final bits of advice here. I think I like your idea of going with setting up something through the bank to make it automatic. She can't reject it from you personally. I wouldn't even acknowledge it. I wouldn't even say, "Did you get the check in the mail?" I would just send it. And then, well, maybe you probably should check, make sure she gets the first one.
Yeah.
But after that, I would never bring it up again, because I think that way you eliminate the awkwardness. As long as she's getting them and she's not, you know, offended and like throwing them back at you. I think my advice just to be set it up automatically, acknowledge it once, and then just let it go. And then, you know, I don't think there'll be any problems with it going forward after that.
No, I don't think so. And I mean, she's doing a service. She's helping you out in that way. I mean, and you're right. It is so exhausting watching children. Like I remember whenever I was pregnant and stuff, I was like, Mom, I wish that you could watch my kids. And she was like, no, I really don't want to, because not because she doesn't love her grandchildren. And she's going to totally text me once she listens to this episode, but because it also disrupts the grandparent relationship. Right? Yeah. Because when you're watching them and that's your job to watch them, you have to also discipline them. You know, my mom likes being able to watch them for a long weekend and watch them and just like let them be them and spoil them. And, you know, you want to run around in the house. Exactly. All the stuff we don't let them do. Right? That's her joy. And so also realize for this person who wrote in is that it you know, that also can complicate some of those relationships, but maybe not really. Maybe not. I don't know.
No, but you're right. You're 100% right. Like if you get to be, it's kind of like being like the fun uncle or the fun friend or relative who's there.
Exactly.
Who doesn't have to, you don't care. Like if you tear up stuff, I don't care because it's only going to be for a couple of hours versus if I see you every day, now you're going to start to get on my nerves. And now I got to start to like put my foot down. And
this is Chris as a dad. I have to see you every day.
Every day. What? It's like I know you're my child, but come on, go get a job or something. Go to camp.
Go to camp?
I don't know. What do you do with kids? I don't know.
Send them to boarding school, apparently, is what you're going to do.
I'm going to get them a job at the bank. Okay, we're going to teach you about money, and you're going to bring in a little support for this household.
Oh, my gosh.
I'll see you later.
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you to this anonymous writer who wrote in and shared her awkward story. I hope it helps. I hope that we were able to give you a little bit of advice and you have a little bit more guidance. And that's what we do. And don't forget, you can always call in or you can write in like this person did. They just sent us a message on Instagram at This Is Awkward Podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, we'd love hearing from you. You're the best part of the show.
I agree.
We're going to take a very quick break. But when we come back, we're going to be jumping into Allison's all-time favorite segment. The only reason she shows up to record.
Absolutely. And I also show up to receive chocolate.
Yeah, that's it. Those two things. When you're getting gifts and we're getting to talk about what you love. That's about it.
So true. Today's episode is brought to you by the Inspire Budget Inner Circle. If you are listening to this podcast, if you're listening to this podcast when it releases on, what day are we releasing it, Chris? January
6th.
Well, you said you were going to release it early.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Early January, January 4th, then the doors to the Inner Circle are open. And so I would love for you to see if it's a good fit. Basically, what it is a monthly membership where you get access to a step-by-step program to help you learn how to write a budget you can stick to, make amazing progress with setting up systems in place to reach your money goals and paying off debt. It's the community you never knew you needed of amazing women who cheer each other on and reach their money dreams. So you can learn more about it at inspirebudget.com/inner circle.
Allison.
Chris.
Do you know what time it is?
I know what time it is. It is time for What I'm Loving. This is when Chris and I get to share something that we're loving, something that brings us joy, something that brings us laughter. Maybe it's chocolates that arrive in the mail. Maybe it's another book or a TV show or a person or an idea, anything that we are loving so that we can share it with you and maybe you can try it out and find something you're loving as well.
Oh, so Allison, who should go first this week? I think do you want to go first? Or should I go first?
I don't care.
All right, I'll go first.
Okay, you go first.
All right. So what I'm loving, it's tied to a what I'm not loving. I'm gonna pair those two things together.
What? Oh my goodness! What are you not loving?
So as you know, Allison, so I'm gonna give this setup. Since you said I don't give my thing, what I'm loving, a good enough set, I'm gonna set it up here.
Yes.
Right. So as you all know, if you didn't know, we're in a pandemic. So movie theaters are closed, and going to the movies was one of my favorite things to do. I think that was like
it
since
was.
I was younger. I loved going to the movies. Every summer when I was growing up, me and my friends would go to the movies and watch like 3 movies in a row, and it was great.
Was that when you could buy one ticket and just sneak into the other theaters afterwards? Is that what you did?
I mean, I don't like the word sneak. We kind of walked while looking around at our surroundings.
While keeping your eye out for any employees.
Yeah, trying to not to be recognized for being in the movie theater for 9 hours.
Okay.
So I loved it. To me, it's the best venue, the best situation to be watching a movie. The best picture, the best sound. I love the experience. But all the theaters are closed. California, I couldn't go even if I wanted to, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
But, so now what you're seeing is these theaters, these production companies, they have all these movies they've made that they were going to release. Oh, whoops. They were going to release.
No. Chris is getting real excited over here. His arms are flailing.
They had all these movies they were going to release, but now they're just sitting there. And so now some of these places are deciding to just go ahead and release them on streaming services.
Which is awesome.
Oh, I love it. And I'm like, if I'm not going to get you to go to the theater, I'm going to watch this movie for free at home. Mm-hmm. So
well, not free.
Well, I guess we're still paying for the service.
Monthly subscription, yeah.
But 2 movies got released on Christmas Day on HBO Max. It was Wonder Woman and it was Soul. And I was very excited for both of those movies. I like the first Wonder Woman, and I love Pixar. I'm going to watch anything they ever put out. Yeah. So the thing I'm not loving, sadly, is Wonder Woman.
Okay. We don't have HBO Max, so we can't watch it. But don't watch it.
So here's the thing. Oh no, actually, okay. Soul didn't come out on HBO Max. That was Disney Plus. But anyways, Wonder Woman. I watched the original or the first one the day before because I was so excited to watch it. I was so ready. I turned it on. I think it was the day after Christmas when we watched it. Allison, it might be one of the worst movies I've watched in a very long time.
Well, but you haven't watched many movies in a very long time, so.
I mean, like in years. in years.
Really?
It was not a good movie.
Oh,
I
okay.
wanted it to be good too. It wasn't like I wasn't hating from the beginning. I came in ready to enjoy this movie,
Yeah.
and it just wasn't a good movie. So that's what
Okay.
I'm not loving. But what
Okay.
I am loving is Soul, which came out on Disney
Oh,
Plus,
it's so good.
and it was a great movie. It was beautiful. The way, like, the
I
visually, it was such an
cried.
amazing movie. Did you? Did you? So you ended up watching it?
So we watched it last night as a family. We all four watched it. And I cried. And always my kids are like, so they, I don't know, like my oldest son gets like excited when I cry, maybe because he's like, she cracked. We cracked her finally.
We
And then
got her.
my youngest son comes and curls up next to me and gives me a hug and a kiss. So, but it was so good.
It was such a great story.
It really
Um,
was.
it was such a great. I love the visuals and I love jazz.
Mhm.
Like, jazz is my favorite. I'd say probably my favorite style of music, favorite
Mhm.
genre of music, and I love the music, the style, the representation of the jazz club, of the barber shop. I think it was a great
Mhm.
representation of. It was great to see a almost entirely black cast.
Mhm.
It was great. It was a
It
great
was.
movie. I really enjoyed it. I definitely plan on watching it again.
Mhm.
Um, that's all I can say about it.
So in the movie, the main character starts out as a middle school band director, and
Oh,
my
that's right.
my husband is a middle school band director. So when we first started watching it, he's like, "I really like this," and then it's like he's just a middle school band director, and everyone's like, "Womp womp," and Matt's like, "What? This is." This is a terrible representation of people's middle school band director's purpose. Like, it was really funny. I was like, but I'm sure you'll still like it.
Yeah, they only talk about that for a little while. They move on from that.
Yeah, they do. They do move on, but it was really funny because he was like, "Oh, this is great," and then it was like, "Womp womp womp," middle school band director. My husband's
No.
like, "This is not an accurate representation of how I view my job."
And that was like literally like the first like 3 minutes of the movie.
It
They're already hating
was.
on band directors.
It was, but it was good. I loved it. We all loved it as well. So I like that one. Good
Yeah, it was
choice.
a great movie.
Good choice for this episode.
Thank you. And I also have to say, I think it's AFIQ also said Wonder Woman 1984 was bad. It was a bad movie. Like, not to jump off of what I'm loving back to what I'm not loving, but it was. I really wanted it to be good.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry.
yeah, but so Allison,
Okay.
what are you loving? Let's jump over to
Okay,
your
so
side
let's
here.
go back to a story. What I'm loving is the fact that last year, in our church, we have a church small group that we're a part of, and last December around this time, or maybe it's the beginning of January, we decided we were going to read the whole Bible through, like,
That's a
from
lot of
cover
reading.
to cover in the year. And I only have how many days left?
You have what?
3 days
Well,
left.
As we're reading this, you have no day. Or as people are watching this, you have no days left.
So by the time you're listening to this, when it comes out on the podcast player app thingy mabobbers, I will have finished the Bible in a year. And I was only able to do that because I had my small group as accountability. And even through the pandemic, and we met on Zoom, we were still talking about it. And because of the podcast Bible recap. So basically
that's
what it
you
is.
mean there.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can throw it up on the screen. Basically what it is, if you go into the Bible app on your phone, if you download the Bible app and you go to plans, you can type in the Bible recap. And not only do you read through the Bible chronologically, but every day there is a short podcast called the Bible recap. And so you do your readings and then you listen to the podcast. And this amazing person, Tara Lee Cobble, she basically just explains what you read just in easier terms to understand. She has really funny references she uses a lot of the times. And it's more to understand what's happening, the chronological story. She doesn't get into like these deep theologies that people are going to disagree about. She will say like, some people believe this, some people believe that, we're not going to talk about that, but this is what it says. And it's just wonderful. In fact, I have truly seen it changed the way I even start my mornings, because every morning, that's the first thing I do. I literally get out of bed and I open up my phone. And what I used to do was I would open up my phone and I would immediately click on my email. I would click on email or I would click on Instagram. And that was always my first thing I would do. I'm talking like I'm walking into the bathroom right after and I'm, brushing my teeth and stuff and I'm reading my email. And now I don't do that. The first thing I do is I click on my Bible app and then I listen to the podcast before I do anything else. And even my kids know, like in the morning, if they're watching cartoons, my son will say, "Can you turn it down?" Because it can read the Bible to you. So it's audio, like an audio book.
Okay.
And
I like that.
Yeah, so the Bible app can read it to you. And my son will be like, "Can you turn it down? I'm trying to watch this cartoon." And I'll say, "What's more important? Mom listening to the Bible, you watching your cartoon?" And then he shuts up. So
I thought this story was going in a different way. I thought you were saying your son was telling his brother, "Turn the TV down, Mom listening to the Bible."
No.
No, you need to turn it down so I can watch
he
this
wanted
cartoon.
me to turn down the audio on my phone so he could listen to TV. And I was like, no, Mom's not doing that. Like, you can listen in a little bit. You probably need to. So it's been wonderful. Right now, as we're recording this, I have 3 days left. I cannot believe that I've gotten through it because I never thought I would. There were books in there I didn't even know existed. It's really, it's a big book, and it's just been wonderful. So if you are wanting some sort of like reset for the new year, they start over on January 1st. If you're listening to this on January 4th, January 6th, you can catch up. You're not too late. It's incredible. And I was telling my husband, I was like, I'm really sad that the year's over because I've loved starting my mornings this way. And it's just totally reshaped the way I start my mornings. And he was like, let's go through it together again. And I'm kind of like, well, I don't really know. But
like,
maybe we will.
I'm going to wait for the sequel. Yeah.
Oh my God. That was a good one.
Thank you.
So I might go through it again. There were moments where it was really hard to get through it. I would be like 14 days behind, but I knew I had a meeting with my small group. And so I was like, no, I've got to catch up because I knew we were going to be talking about it. And so that also helped me stay on track as well. So I recommend getting a couple friends you want to do it with.
Okay. So, obviously the Bible's a very long book. How many pages are you going through a day? Because if you're saying you're 14 days behind, I feel like that's like a lot of pages.
So it is. It's interesting because they take the plan, they take it, and it's broken up chronologically. So you're not reading necessarily book order. You're reading as it happened in time order. So there are some days where you only have there was one day where it was one verse. And then I was just like, I started actually getting anxiety in about November because I was like, we're only in the gospel chapters. Like, how are we going to finish? There's so much left. I don't understand how we're going to finish this in time. And then right now it's like 5 chapters. I mean, it's a lot. There are sometimes you read one whole book in a day. So it's very much not let's dig deep into it. It's very much of like an overview. Get a good overview of what happened. Like you're skimming the surface instead of diving deep. But that's why I have to have it read to me. I do it in the morning. I shower, I'm listening to it. Brushing my teeth, I'm listening to it. I'm making my kids breakfast and me breakfast and coffee. I listen to it, and I try to make sure that that's what I do before I ever check email, before I ever open Instagram, before I ever sit down at my computer and do any work.
No, I love that. That's a great way to do it. I think, because for me, I know my horrible attention span. I will not sit down and read something every morning, but I like when there's like a hybrid of I get to read something and then also I can listen to it if I choose to. I like that option. So that's a great recommendation.
Another thing what's so wonderful about the podcast is some of the reading is just so you don't understand it. And so sometimes, and I'm not a perfect human, I'll zone out and I'll be like, wait, pull yourself back because I'm listening to it. And I'll be like, if I miss something, Tara Lee will fill me in. It's okay. And she just explains it really well, to where it's easier to understand than if you're just reading it on your own and you might not really be understanding it.
No, I love that. That's a great recommendation. That's a great what I'm loving for this week.
Thanks.
Especially starting the new year. If that's something you're interested in doing, if you want to hey, I've always wanted to go through the Bible. Yeah. There you go. I think that's a great way to do it.
Yeah. And you can do it on your drive if you commute. That's what my husband does, is he listens every day on the way home from work when he commutes. So, okay, Chris.
Yes. You
ready for your favorite segment?
I am, Allison. I've been waiting this whole 39 minutes for it.
Okay.
It's time, Allison, for the listener shout out. This is the time where we get to say thank you to those of you listening to the show, watching us here live on YouTube if you're joining us here. and just say thanks and shout out someone who sent us a message or who we've got to interact with in some way. And I just love it. To me, it's one of my favorite parts of what we do here on This Is Awkward.
Yes, it's awesome. Do you want to read the shout out today, or do you want me to do it?
I will. I'll read it this time.
Okay.
Thank you for giving me that honor, Allison. This is a review. I think I'm looking at the right one. It's a review, right?
Yes, it's a
Okay.
podcast review. So you can also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We prefer 5 stars.
Yes. That would be ideal. If you want to take the time to leave us a review, we hope that it would be for 5 stars. We
Yes.
can't make you, but that's what we would like to see.
We won't read out your review. If it's for less than 5 stars.
We can guarantee that it will not be. We will not make it awkward by reading your 1-star review on the air. But this beautiful 5-star review comes from Suzanne7608 or 08. It says, light but fulfilling. I'm so glad I discovered this podcast. I've never been into podcasts, but I've gotten into budgeting and managing my money. This podcast is so motivating to stick to my financial goals because Allison and Chris talk through different real-life situations in which our goals are tested. They're funny and lighthearted, but give great advice. Listening to them leaves me fulfilled.
Wow.
I
That
love
was
That's a
such
great
a
review.
nice review. Oh my
Wasn't it?
goodness.
To me, the biggest honor was she doesn't listen to podcasts,
But she
but she
listens
chooses to listen to
our.
ours.
That's right.
That-
She goes out of her way to listen to our podcast. This is incredible. Thank you, Suzanne.
Yeah, we
Thank
really
you so
appreciate that.
much. And I love the way you said we talk about different real life situations in which our goals are tested.
That's a good way to put it. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's what
maybe
this
we
really
should
is.
change our tagline or something. I don't know.
Where we get tested. Where your wallet gets tested.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh. I
All right,
like
we're gonna
it.
workshop this one. We're gonna figure this out.
We'll figure it out. Thanks, Suzanne. We might come to you for more branding advice.
Yeah, we will. Thank you. We're not gonna pay you like our today's caller needs to pay her mom. But also, speaking of that, one more comment to give someone else a shout out here. This is from Angie T. I think this is Angie TF who left us the review. She said, plus, if she's watching kids all day, then the money can be used for extra food, snacks, and activities. I
Look
think
at
that's a good-
Angie.
yeah.
Angie, you're so smart. Thanks for
That's-
including that.
That's a great way to think about it. But I don't want her to. I want this mom to go shopping or something, or put in her retirement account, or do something.
Pay for her mortgage or
Yeah,
anything she
yes,
needs.
she can give a portion back to the kids. Buy like 1 pack of cookies or something. Here you go. You guys.
1 pack of cookies. Or she could also buy some of the Harlem Chocolate Factory chocolate bars for the children.
It's like they're a sponsor. They're an unofficial sponsor who I paid for to get the chocolate.
Yes, this is not an ad. This is a sponsor that Chris reached out to. So go
This is a
check out
business I'm supporting.
Harlem Chocolate Factory. I can't wait to try it. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And Allison, we've made it to the end of another awkward episode here.
It wasn't too awkward. I
wasn't that
mean,
bad.
you made it awkward sometimes, but
Yeah,
and
you know.
we want to thank our anonymous person who wrote in with their story. We really hope it helped. And always, if you ever write in and we talk about your story on the podcast, we would love for you to follow up and let us know if you used the advice, you tried it, and it went wonderfully, or it was awful. We want to know.
Yes, we really need to know this. And you can either
Let us know if we ruined your life with our terrible advice or if we helped make it better.
Yeah, exactly. It can go either way. We're hoping for for the positive outcome.
Yes.
But if you want to be a part of our show, if you want to either give us some feedback on how our recommendation went for you, or if you want to send in your awkward money story, you can do that by calling us at 707-200-8259. And you can be completely anonymous if you want to. You do not have to give us your name, and we can talk you through your awkward story.
Yes. So thanks for everyone who joined us live. We're actually going to move into our post show, which
Yes, we are.
if you join our super awesome, amazing Patreon, you'll get access to it. And let me tell you, I'm really excited because I'm going to be talking all things 2021 goals. And I'm also going to talk to you about the goals that I set in 2020 that I failed on.
That's what I'm very excited to hear.
Let's sit down, pour yourself a cup of coffee, and let's listen to Allison's failures.
Oh, one of my favorite pastimes. Oh. No, but thank you to everyone who joined us here live. We're going live every time we record going forward. So we'll be on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Right now we're doing everything through the Popcorn Finance stuff because I was too lazy to go set up new stuff. But maybe eventually we'll set
get
up some
there.
This Is Awkward accounts for that stuff. But yeah, we're very happy to have those of you who joined us. And yes, Allison, that was Angie. And so
Yeah, it
who was
was.
doing it?
Angie,
She
you're
said,
so
"It's
sweet.
me."
Yeah, it is. It's you, girl. Don't you forget it.
Yeah, and then thank you. And I wish I could read. I'm horrible at
It's
reading usernames.
Alex Smith.
Al. Oh
Alex
wait. Oh,
Smith.
he signed his comment. I was trying to read his username up here. He signed his comment down there. So thank you, Alex Smith, for joining us and for the compliment and for letting us bring a little more awkwardness to your Monday morning or Monday afternoon, whatever time it may be. So, Allison, that was awkward.
That was awkward, but that's okay.
All right, that's the official end of the episode.
Okay,
there.
awesome. Yay! I'm really going to bust
made it.
one of these chocolates.
Whew, we didn't mess up too bad.
I don't think so. I wish that you could try one. I feel bad that I'm going to eat it and I can't.
I have some coming
Oh,
for myself.
You do?
Yes.
Look at it. It's so cute. I don't want to eat it, but I'm
I know,
going
they're like little
to.
pieces of art. They're like little.
She must use like stamps or something.
Yeah, I don't know. She has some really nice molds, whatever she's doing there.
Oh my gosh, they're really good.
I was like, please don't let this be gross as you're trying it.
I tried the milk chocolate golden brownstone bar. It's very, very good. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
All right, that's good to know. I'm excited to get ours. I also ordered some hot chocolate. I want to try their hot
from
chocolate
her.
and see how it is. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I feel so bougie right now with my fancy chocolates. It's like, suck it, Hershey's. Oh. Are we still live?
Oh, yes, we are.
Oh.
So Hershey's, you can sponsor Popcorn Finance since you've clearly been shunned off of This Is Awkward.
There's nothing wrong with Hershey's. Just, we don't need a monopoly.
No, and she has a really great story. So I was like, she has a great video on her site that I was watching about how she started and her setup there and, her love of Harlem. And I was excited to support them. Actually, it was someone on Twitter told me about them. So they were listening to This Is Awkward and they sent me a message.
And they heard that we were going to be doing that?
Yes. And it said, have you heard of Harlem Chocolate Factory? And I was like, I have not heard of them. And that's when I dove in, did some research and found them. And I was like, oh, this is great. So thank you. I wish I knew their name. I didn't save it here so I can give them a shout out and thank them for sending over that recommendation. I'm going to find it though. And when I do, I will give them a shout out here.
Okay. This one, it is chocolate with subtle caramel notes and a lingering hint of cinnamon, fresh dairy flavor, and spicy finish. And I was going to say, this almost tastes like caramels in it. Look at me and my taste buds.
Look at you. You should have been a chef.
I mean, no, I really hate cooking.
Oh, okay. I found them. So their name on Twitter is @PDrenon. That's DRINNON. I love their actual, the little, on Twitter you can have like a name that you give yourself. They're the Angry Dalek. But since you don't like sci-fi, I know you have no idea what that means whatsoever. It's a Doctor Who reference.
Can I tell you, I was watching The Office the other day because I'm trying to watch it through before it leaves Netflix. And Jim uses the word audible. And I knew what that meant.
And you were ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
You knew what was going on.
And last night we went and hung out with a couple in our neighborhood and our kids all play together. And we were hanging out with them. And I was telling them about how my goal is to learn one new football term a year. So that way, by the time I'm 50, I know like 25 football terms. Because, I only didn't start this right away in my life. And anyway, they were like, he asked me, he said, the husband of the couple, he said, well, what's the football term? I said, it's an audible. And she was like, what does that mean? I was like, let me tell you. And it's taken me a while to be able to explain it correctly, but I did a good job. And I have you to thank, Chris.
You're welcome.
Normally, my husband has to teach me a new football term every year, but you took that burden off of his shoulders this year. And I used it.
It's like talking to a wall. She's like, I try to tell her these terms, and she just ignores me and goes,
I use it in a sentence correctly 60% of the time.
Well, see, this is what I want to do here. So I think Matt, because I don't really watch football that often, so I'm going to let him continue his duties for football education. Mm-hmm. I'm dedicated now to teaching you about science fiction, like sci-fi. You need to learn about that. I'm really into Star Wars right now, Allison. We gotta bump up your understanding here. Your lack of understanding is appalling. I can't deal with that. I
want nothing to do with. Come on, Chris.
It's great. Oh, we just started watching season 5 of The Expanse. Oh, such a good show.
Okay.
I'm some new Star Wars books.
Oh my
Finished
gosh,
season 2
you're
of The
such a
Mandalorian.
nerd.
Oh, Allison, the
Ah.
season finale of The Mandalorian was so
Okay,
good.
my oldest
So
son, who is 8, wants to watch that. Is that the one with Baby Yoda that everyone's like,
It
Baby
is.
Yoda? And I'm like, looks just like regular Yoda.
He's
Weird.
not, by the way, he is not Baby Yoda. He just is the same species. Just want to get that out there. Okay.
Oh my gosh, you are just like solidifying your nerdness right now. Anyway, so he wants to watch it, and I don't know if it's appropriate.
How old is he?
He's 8. He'll be 9 in April.
I mean, I have no point of reference in that's appropriate for an 8 or 9-year-old.
You're like, as someone who doesn't have any children, or
Yeah,
do you have nieces and nephews?
No.
Or nieces and nephews, and I'm never around kids. I think it'd be fine. Why don't you just throw in some Fight Club too? That's great advice.
Yeah. Has he seen Pulp Fiction?
He No. Although you know what I want to show him is Are You Afraid of the Dark? Do they still have that out? Like, can I find that anywhere?
On CBS. So there's a streaming service called CBS All Access. Have you heard of that?
Okay. No, I'm gonna write it down though.
They have all of Nickelodeon's catalog on there.
Is it free?
No, of course not. Allison.
Okay.
No.
Well, so we were talking when my brother was in town for Christmas. We were talking about an Are You Afraid of the Dark episode that we remember and we started like talking about it around my son, and now he's quoting it just from us talking about it. Do you remember? Did you watch
that show? But I couldn't like quote. It's been so long since I've seen it. I couldn't.
Okay.
I don't remember anything.
Because I'm so much younger than you. I do remember because I watched Are You Afraid of the Dark a lot more recently than you did. Because you're so old. But
so I got you by at least 30 days.
You're 30 days, full 30 days older than me. There is an episode, and we were not planning on talking about this, people, but there is an episode where there is a ghost. It's actually really disturbing if my brother Nick and I remember this correctly. There's an episode where there's a boy who gets lost in the woods in like many, many years ago, and he dies from freezing to death. And he comes back as a ghost, and he starts haunting these people, and he goes up to them and says, I'm cold. I'm cold. And that's it. He just keeps telling them I'm cold in this really creepy voice. Like I remember it. And he's this ghost. And so in the span of the episode, the conclusion is that they find his jacket in an old hollowed out tree and give it to him. And he's a happy ghost now. He's no longer cold. And I'm like, but he still died from hypothermia when he was a child. Like, this is depressing.
Yeah, clearly that jacket wasn't good enough when he was alive.
No, he had lost his jacket. He was in the woods.
He lost his jacket.
He put his jacket in this hollowed out tree.
Why?
Went walking around. I don't know, because he's a kid and they don't think straight. And he put his jacket in this hollowed out tree and then died from hypothermia. And Nickelodeon thought this would be a good storyline. Can we just talk about that for a minute?
You know what they taught kids? Don't you dare leave your jacket on that tree. You better keep that on you the whole time.
You might die from hypothermia, turn into a ghost, an unhappy ghost who's cold all the time because you didn't have your jacket, and then you haunt people to tell them that you're cold so that way they find your jacket for you.
Oh, okay. That's a great lesson to be learned there.
I also vaguely remember an episode about someone who drowned in a swimming pool and then haunted the swimming pool inside the water and would drag people under and kill them. Are You Afraid of the Dark is not something I should show my children.
It's like Goosebumps. It's like a slightly more mature version of Goosebumps.
Yeah. And I remember like the opening, it was like they were all around this fire and they would blow sand into the fire and it would like light up faster. And my brother and I were like, what are you talking? Like, if you blow sand into a fire, it puts it out. Like, what is this? This is nonsense.
Maybe you just blow a little bit of sand. Just a little bit. It just sparkles in the flames.
No, it doesn't. I don't think it works that way.
Well, clearly we learned I've never been camping, so I've never thrown sand into a
well, we've already talked about that, and we're going to have some plans in 2021 or 2022 to take you camping.
Let's just make it 2023. Let's just round it up.
Let's just push it out until you forget about it.
You know, one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows with real people was Eat My Shorts.
Oh,
did you watch that when they're like
yes,
at camp?
I did. Yes. Salute your shorts.
Salute my. That's where it is. Eat my shorts.
Salute your shorts.
Salute your shorts. There you go.
I was like, wait a minute. Salute your.
Stuff
you know which one I hated the most? Clearly, Chris and I watched too much Nickelodeon when we were children.
Oh, yeah.
was Hey Dude.
Yes, I remember that one. I didn't mind that one.
I minded it. I thought it was so cliche for the South. Like, okay, we don't all live on ranches down here and ride horses.
So someone who grew up in California, everyone doesn't live on a ranch in the South? That's not how that
No,
works?
and we keep our horses in our garage. We don't all have a stable.
Like
Okay, when I
civilized
go to
people.
the grocery store, we take 2 horses to carry the groceries on the other one.
I'm learning so much. No, I barely remember that show, but I do remember Hey Dude.
I did not care for it. It was just stupid.
I did love Guts
Oh.
and Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh, Legends of the Hidden Temple was incredible.
I was like, how do I get on this show? How do I make this
I don't
happen?
know. You lived in California. You should have made it on.
No, they were in Florida. Remember, they were in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're right. That show was really cool.
It was. Have you ever heard of this service called Pluto TV?
Mm-mm.
So it's like a free service. So if you're looking for something that's free, they have all these like live streaming channels that they're just constantly streaming all these different things. And they were streaming an episode of Guts on there.
Wow.
And it was horrible. I cannot watch that as an adult. That show's not meant for adult eyes. That's meant for kids.
That's
It's
funny.
like they're going through these obstacle courses, and there's 3 kids going through this like course, one at a time, mind you, one at a time. There are no less than 10 adults standing around the course, making sure they don't fall over. They're like guiding them through every one. I was like, they're really worried about getting sued.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay.
Oh,
Chris,
I'm
it's
jumping-
January
It is.
when this goes live, it will be January.
It is.
It's my favorite time of the year. I love setting goals. I love reaching my goals. I don't love not reaching them, but I love like the fresh start of a new year. I love January and I love like August, September because you get back to school and you kind of get like these reset months. Like that feels like a reset to me. Just as someone who was a teacher for 10 years, you know, you're getting off of this long summer break and you get this reset. And now as a person who works from home, my kids go back to school in August. So it feels like a reset. And then January. So I'm really excited to talk about goals today. Can we talk about it, please? Please,
Yes, we
please,
can.
please?
And you know what? We're in a new year here. And as our gift for 2021, for those, I mean, if you're watching this live right now, this is not 20, you know where we are. But for those of you catching this when it goes live, this is 2021. But as a gift for those who are catching us live, we're just gonna let you all listen in on our Patreon bonus content for this week. So give you a little taste of what we're doing, a little taste, a little sample. Because hey, why not? You're here. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for listening in and joining us. So
Do we have more than one person watching live?
We have a couple of people stuck around.
my
So whoever
gosh,
you are, I
dang,
can't see who it is,
dang.
but thank you. And someone on Twitch and someone on YouTube. So here's a
Wow.
little bit of our Patreon bonus content for you.
Yes. So I want to talk really quickly about how I set my goals. I set my
very
goals.
thorough, intentional process for setting.
It
goals.
is intentional, and it's intentional in the fact that it's streamlined, simplified, and easy to follow, right? Because it's not just like if you get too vague, it's like, well, what am I talking about? I don't know. I want to be a nicer person. Well, how do you actually like, you know, goals like that? I'm just like, those are just thoughts. Those are just ideas. Those aren't goals. Like, oh, I want to be more present. Well, no, that's not a goal. That's just your wish. What are you going to do to be more present? So for
Well,
me,
you're hating on a lot of people's goals right now.
all right. If that's your goal, I hope it works out for you. When it doesn't, come start using my process. Boom, done. So here's how I do
guessing
it.
humility is not one of your goals for 2021.
Shut up. Anyway, so the way I do this is back whenever my husband and I lived far away from family, now we live a short distance away. We would, on our drives down, we would have this conversation because he doesn't really care to talk about it. So I would trap him in a car where he couldn't escape. And it's unsafe to wear headphones when he's driving. So captive audience. I mean, it just worked out. And so we broke it down. And this was many years ago. We probably started doing this in like 2017 or 2018 or 16. I don't know. It was for a long time we've been doing this. And we break it down into 4 types of goals. We have faith, finance, family, and fitness.
Oh, wait. Are those all F's?
They are, because I like alliteration. Faith, family, finance, and fitness. So we sit down and some of our goals are the same. For instance, our finance goals, we try to agree on them as a couple. Like, it usually has to do with, in the past, it was paying off debt, a certain amount of debt. And then now it's usually about saving. And then the rest of them are ones that we just set ourselves. So, and I literally put it in the notes app of my phone and I can go back and I can look. So part of our goal setting process is before we set goals for the new year, we look back at our previous year's goals and we review if we met them or if we failed miserably.
Ooh, and this is what I'm here for.
This is what you're here for. Okay. So I'm not going to share all of them, all of our goals, because #boundaries. I need to have more boundaries in my life. But one of my faith goals was to do the Bible, like read through the Bible. Boom, did it, done, finished. I'm super proud of myself. Now, our finance goals. Are you ready for this?
Ooh, okay, I'm ready.
One of them was to max out 2 Roth IRAs. Did it. We did that. One of them was to pay for Disney and a couple's vacation to Punta Cana.
Oh, how'd that go?
Well,
that was really not your fault.
No, it really wasn't our fault. So we obviously we pulled out of Disney. Disney was like physically closed, which made it a lot easier. We didn't have to like decide, should we go? Should we not go? It was just like closed down. And then we didn't want to leave the country. We still don't want to leave the country. So that was easy. And then we wanted to increase our car fund in September, but we ended up buying a car in May. For my birthday.
Right.
Well, not for my birthday.
One of your big accomplishments too.
That was a big accomplishment. We've been saving for a new car for about the past 3 years, I would say, every single month, and we were able to buy a car in cash. So another one of my goals was to lose 25 pounds, and I gained 5 pounds.
You know what? Sometimes you change priorities. It's like, hey, you know what? It was a cold year this year. So I mean, imagine how cold you would have been if you were skinnier.
Oh my God!
I mean, imagine.
Just say cold.
It was a cold year.
So because I have more flubber.
No, more insulation. It kept you warm. You probably saved on utility bills.
Yes.
I'm just saying that was my technique for 2020. I was like, hey,
okay,
I'm not gonna get all skinny and cold.
Should we tell people about what we were planning on doing in 2020? Should we do it? Should we tell them?
Should.
Okay. So in what month was it? Like February.
Wait, was this pre-pandemic when we made this decision, or was this like after it, or right after it started? I feel like it was right after it started.
I think it was like the very beginning of March. It was like right beforehand. I think it was like very end of February or very beginning of March.
Yeah.
Chris and I decided to do a weight loss challenge with each other. Okay. This is where it gets funny. We decided, okay, we both wanted to lose weight. Let's do a challenge based off of percentage loss. So clearly, I mean, I'm smaller than he is, so he would lose more pounds. So it wasn't based off of pounds loss. It was based off of
I could probably lose how much you weigh in total and still be.
No, I don't think so. But I love that you think I weigh that little. Regardless, and so Chris had this crazy spreadsheet where we would go in once a week, and put in our weight. And then here's the kicker. So our motivation was that we were supposed to meet up at this conference in September. Was it September or October? Yeah. We were going to meet up at the conference, and whoever didn't didn't meet their goal had to buy the other person dinner. And then if we both didn't meet our goal, we just went out to dinner anyway, and we were sad. We just ate a lot of food. And so we had this weight loss goal, and we would like text each other, and we would fill out this spreadsheet and like text each other when we were working out. And it just like within 3 weeks, COVID hit, everything blew up, and it was just like and then within like a month, our conference was canceled, and so there was no more like motivation.
It fell apart so fast. I've never seen something fall apart so fast.
Yeah, it really did. And I almost want to do it again, but I'm afraid we jinxed it. Like, I think if we do the weight loss challenge, I think if you and I lose weight, the conference that we want to go to is going to be canceled.
Oh, well, I mean,
do you think we're going to be traveling come September, October?
I'm not confident.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not confident that the conference will happen in October, but we'll see. But I think we should, because I've made a goal for myself to be more consistent with working out
Okay.
in the new year. So I let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, we're gonna use your
Back
same.
on.
We're gonna use your same spreadsheet.
We'll dust off that spreadsheet and then start using it again.
Okay. Okay, good. And we don't show this to anyone, so we're not going to keep you
No.
like updated on if we're failing
No.
or not.
We can say it's going poorly or it's going well. We just won't tell you what numbers are on
Yeah.
on that spreadsheet.
And we'll only talk about it with the Patreon people.
Yeah, there
Is that
we go.
okay?
That'll be
Okay.
yeah. If you want to hear Chris is failing horribly, then you come and join us on Patreon.
Exactly. Exactly. But
can I share with you one of my goals?
I do. I love to
last
hear
year?
people's goals. Yes.
So I didn't do a good job of actually writing them down. So I only have the one I remember. Actually, no, I have two. One I both of them I failed, but one I failed worse than the other.
Okay.
So the first one was to max out my retirement plan at work.
Mm-hmm.
I got close. So to max it out, it would have been 19,500, and I ended up doing, I think, just over 15,000.
That's
So
awesome.
I still count that as a win because that's more than I put in the previous year.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's not where it was, but that's just my goal for next year. So next year, I'm going to max it out. That'll be my goal.
Okay. Awesome. Are they raising the limits next year?
No, they're actually staying the same,
Okay.
which is kind of weird. I don't know why
I know.
they don't raise them every year.
Normally they do raise them a little bit, right?
They typically do some adjustment, but sometimes they go like every other year. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what their logic is for why they do and do not raise the limits. But part of the reason why I didn't reach the goal is because I paid off my car last year.
Yeah, you did.
So that kind of derailed me. I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and pay this off. I want to be done with this. It was like a bonus, but it made me miss one of my goals. But I was still very excited.
That's
about that.
awesome. Good for you.
We have no car payments. It's amazing.
Doesn't it feel wonderful?
It's nice to get paid and then keep all of your paycheck. I'm realizing that's kind of nice. So,
Yeah.
So that was one of the things we did. And then the goal that I completely didn't come close to was, I want to save a large amount towards a down payment on a home. Just to, we don't know if we're going to buy anytime soon, but just to be prepared, we saved like, I don't know, $1,000 or something.
Oh, really? You just didn't make
We
it a
didn't save very
priority.
much. No, not at all.
Yeah.
And housing has gotten insane. Like, it's already bad in Southern California. It's gotten worse, Allison. I don't know if
Does
can
it make you
imagine
just
anything
want to
else.
rent forever?
It kind of does, because it doesn't make sense, like almost financially at this point for me to buy a house, because like a mortgage is so high. I think the average price of a home out here is somewhere between $700,000 to $800,000.
Crazy.
It's like a Southern California average, which is stupid.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you can get a standalone home for less than $500,000 right now. I don't even know if
Wow.
that's
You have to buy like a
possible.
condo or something.
Yeah, you might be able to find a condo, like a one bedroom condo for like, $450 or something.
Oh my gosh.
Something stupid. So yeah, I still want to be prepared. Like, hey, maybe I might come across something, but I'm not going to force it. I think
And
that's
you
one of
need
the
a
things-
good down payment too, because it's competitive, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, people are going like the sticker price or the asking price of the home is never paid. People are paying way over asking now just because. So
That is crazy. That's one good thing about Texas. The homes here, I mean, you can find, I don't know, in my area, you can find like a huge home for like 400,000. Like huge.
You
Like
get a
5
closet here for that.
bedrooms. You get a
5
closet.
bedrooms.
It's so, like it depends on like the neighborhood you want and all these types of things, but it's very, very, very affordable.
Yeah, no,
We didn't pay nearly that much for our house, and we have a nice house.
You do have a nice house.
We have an awesome backyard. I love our backyard.
I just live through you. That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, you can come
Just live
visit.
through you. Yeah, I'll come visit and say, oh, this is what a house looks like, a backyard, huh?
I love it.
But yeah, so what else do you have going on goals wise?
So for this year, we have a goal again to max out 2 Roth IRAs. I have goals for my business, but those are boring. Let me see. We want to do a date night each week, which we really kind of do. I wanted to get into, what I'm really tempted to get is those Hunt a Killer boxes, the
What?
subscription boxes.
Hold on, what?
You don't know
You
what
said
that's
Hunter Killer? Is that what you said?
Hunt a Killer. They are these monthly subscription boxes where you do do investigative work. They send you a box with like more clues to find a killer, like track down
Like
a
a
killer.
real killer?
No,
Like,
it's
going out to
like
the
all
streets
made
interviewing
up.
people looking
Think
for
of like an
murderers?
escape room. Like we've done escape room in a box before. Like my husband and I have. My brother and sister-in-law gave us one 2 years ago for Christmas. And the only reason why we managed to escape, because it was so hard, is I was messing with like the lock thing, which was the final clue. And I accidentally figured out the combination and it opened up. But these are like subscription boxes that are like entertaining because you're like using clues and doing just all of these, like, you don't know what I'm talking about? Like,
that sounds vaguely familiar. I just didn't know. When you first said it, I was like, I don't know what that sounds insane. Like hunting a killer.
I get advertisements for them on like Facebook and stuff sometimes. Now that I've said it, I haven't seen an advertisement for a long time, but I just spoke it out loud. So I can guarantee you I'll see an advertisement today for it.
Oh yeah. Let me go check Instagram right now. I'm sure I'm getting ads.
Exactly. And so anyway, I want to do a date night each week, and I thought that would be fun. But then the cheap side of me is like, no, I don't want a subscription box, because what if you never figure out who the killer is and you're on this month and you're like, I just want to solve the clues and find a solution, but they purposefully don't have a solution because they want you to continue every month. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, see, last night I was debating a cookie subscription box. That's the type of subscription.
Okay, that's not going to help you reach our weight loss goals that we're setting. Please don't get a cookie subscription box. Can I interest you in a subscription box with weights where every month they go up higher in size? You start out with 1 pound. Month 2, you get a really 2 pound weight.
Like, as you're getting stronger, you're getting more weight to help you get even more stronger.
Or they have these monthly subscription boxes, but they're called gyms, and you go to them to work out. Just kidding. Oh, one of my goals is to hit 300 rides on the Peloton.
Oh, that's a good. Okay, maybe I'll set the same goal.
Oh, and then I have to tell you, I need to text Matt to bring it to me. I got this really cool thing for Christmas.
Oh, did you get your tray?
Yes, I just texted.
Your TV dinner tray?
No, it's
your Peloton TV dinner tray?
Stop it. Stop calling it that. Stop calling it that.
It's great for eating sandwiches while you're riding the bike.
Stop. This is not what it's for. No, one of the things I got for Christmas is, I wonder if, hey, Evan. My kid just walked by. He's running outside with his.
Go get mom's TV tray.
Stop. Stop it. Anyway, so I have done 136 rides right now. And my goal is to hit 300 by the end of the year. 300 minus 136. That's only 164 rides divided by 52 weeks. That's only 3 rides a week.
Oh, that's doable.
Should I raise it to 350? Oh.
Well, because then don't they count like your warm-ups and cool downs and all that other stuff?
Okay, look. Here it is. So it's this tray. Thanks, Matt.
Oh, and so you can hold it up so you don't spread COVID while you're riding.
Stop. No. You slide it. Okay, you see this circular opening right here?
Yeah.
Put it over the handlebars and it sits there like this in front of the screen. And then because I work, sorry if you can't hear me very well, because I work from home and I'm on the computer all the time, I can take a 30-minute period where I can set my laptop on here and I can actually work while I'm writing, like just to get my heart rate up, not to get like a sweaty workout, but to get my heart rate above my normal resting heart rate. And I just I don't do a class. I just do like the one where you just ride. And I set my laptop on here and it has this sticky circle. So like,
so what is that circle? Hold on. Let me make my screen big.
I didn't know what it was until I used it yesterday for the first time. It has this sticky circle, which I thought was for a cup holder, but it's not.
Yes, you did.
It's to be able to like stick something on and it doesn't fall off.
Oh, that's what that's for.
So
okay.
It doesn't like roll off. You know what I mean? So anyway, I love it. I used it yesterday for 36 minutes and it's perfect.
Do you just do like an open free ride thing?
I do. I do an open free ride where it's just a black screen, but it's at least like tracking that I'm riding.
Wait, why don't you do the one that has like the nature or something?
Because I'm trying to focus on my computer. I don't need something else grabbing my attention. I thought about that already. So yesterday I did it for a little bit when I was working. I was only able to do it for like about 30 minutes. And then I did a Peloton ride after I was finished working. If I come do a Peloton ride today as well. So, but I thought it was super neat. And I'm very excited about it. And that's something that I got from my in-laws that I asked for.
Nice. I exclusively got gift cards, which is what I wanted because, there's nothing I really wanted. But then I can just pick something I want later on.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to raise it to 350 rides before the year's over.
Ooh, okay. You know what? I'm setting mine to 351.
Challenge accepted.
Just so I can beat
Christopher
you.
Browning. I'm going to beat you. I'm already beating you right now. Let's take a look. Let's let everyone hear how I'm
Look,
beating you so bad.
look, I may or may
I
not have not exercised in, several weeks.
I have ridden 136 rides. Let's look at Chris.
We don't need to do that. We don't need to look at that.
He has ridden 121. Yeah, you haven't exercised a lot in the past 30 days.
It's been a while.
You should do a ride today.
Well, see, the thing is, like I said, it's getting cold. I need to get fatter so that I can be warmer
that's not how it
and
works.
use less heat.
Nope, that's not how it works.
That's my goal. I have a lot of insulation going on right now. Like my midsection is going to be so toasty.
How it works. It's not how it works. But anyway, so those are some of my goals for 2021. Another one is for our family. We set goals. Sometimes, like when our kids are older, we'll involve them more. But the family goals that we set are to have a date night. And then one of the things we want to do is to create habits in the kids. So I realized after doing the Bible recap for 365 days that it's instinctively my habit. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I open up my Bible app and I listen to the Bible. So I was like, okay, we need to be better about creating habits for our children, because right now, I'm just going to be honest here because this is a no judgmental zone. It's easier for me to do things than ask them to do it because they're going to do it wrong or they're going to take forever. And so we've fallen into the habit of just doing everything for them, because when they do it, it's not good. I was going to say a different word, but I won't. I was going to say sucks. It's not good. And it takes them forever and they whine and they complain. And so one of the things that I really want to do this year is focus on creating habits in them to help out more around the house and not see the house as like mom and dad run the house, and make the house function and make it clean and make it nice, but to see it as we work together as a family to make this house function properly.
So one of your goals is to make them miserable by making them do more chores. That's what I've heard.
Why don't you come over and stay, and I'll do the same thing for you. And you're going to leave 2021 knowing that you need to make your bed every morning, that you need to wipe out the sink in the bathroom when you have toothpaste everywhere, and that you need to flush the toilet. Okay? Vina, you're welcome.
You know what? You remind me of my dad. He would rather just do it himself than to let us do it. Like when we were growing up, he'd always be like, we'd be doing something like, you know what? Here, just let me take this. Let me just cut this grass. Let me just move this around because I'll just take care of it. And I remember seeing this meme, and it was this boy, like this little boy holding a flashlight. And he was like, growing up, one of the things my dad taught me was how to hold a flashlight, because you're always just helping. You're never actually doing anything, because your dad's like, don't worry, I'll take care of this. Just watch me do this.
Yeah. See, I don't want it to be like that. I don't want it to be like that. So I mean, even just like when they get home from school, it's gotten so bad where they just like throw their junk on the ground and their shoes are everywhere and their socks are strewn about. And and then what it does is it creates a home of chaos, and it creates chaos for me because it stresses me out. And then when I'm stressed out, I'm not a nice mom and I'm not a nice wife. And so I need them to pull their weight so that way I'm not feeling stressed. So really we actually started about like the beginning of December, where as soon as they would get home from school, I said, you can't do anything. Like you cannot see anyone do anything, play outside, because that's immediately what they want to do. They want to eat their snack and go play outside. And no, you can't do that until your backpack is on the hook, your homework is on the table, your shoes, your socks, your shoes, everything's put away. And it's not this just, it's like their backpacks and their stuff just vomits everywhere. I'm sick of it.
They explode. Like everything explodes in the house once they get home.
Yeah. And so my goal is to make it to where I no longer have to nag them, but because they've been doing it over and over and over again, that it's just becomes part of them. And they do it without even realizing they're doing it.
That's a great goal.
Yeah, I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, good luck. I wish you the best of luck with that.
I might have to do that. What's that thing when you hold?
You hypnotize them?
I might have to hypnotize them to make it really happen, make it really work.
Oh man, see, I want to follow up with another goal, but I'm not a great goal setter like you. I have no other goals that I've like intentionally thought out. I probably should do that.
Well, you have your weight loss goal now that I made you
Yeah.
do with me.
Mhm.
Like I didn't give you a choice.
I've been forced to. Yes. Okay.
Okay. So you set a Peloton goal because you are competitive and want to beat me.
Yeah.
So there's another goal. You have your retirement goal.
Yes, that's true.
So
That's
I
true.
would say you have 3, and you said you have a book goal.
Oh yeah. So I joined this. Oh, you're gonna love this, Allison. There's this thing called the Star Wars Canon Challenge.
It sounds so boring.
I see the joy in your eyes right now. So the whole thing is when Disney bought Star Wars, right? There are all these existing books out there, but hey.
What? I was getting distracted. I was eyeing my
zoning
chocolate.
out on me.
I was looking at the chocolate, Chris, that you got me. Look, I ate half a
You
house
ate half
already.
of it already. That's a good sign.
Half of the house.
When did you eat that? I didn't even see you. I've been watching you on video the whole time. When did you eat that?
While you've been watching me on video, you're just so used to seeing me eat candy that it's not even just like anything else. Okay.
Back to the important thing here. Anyways, I'll quicken it up here for you while you eat that chocolate.
I'm putting it away to save
There
it.
are roughly, I think, 50 books
Okay.
that are part of the Star Wars canon storyline.
Are you reading all of them in a year?
This guy created this challenge online, and it's a challenge where they're going to go through all 50 books. I think it runs through like February of 2022 because there's just too many. But they're going to go through it because they're reading it at a crazy pace. They're going at like 40 pages a day.
How are you doing this?
So I can't read that fast. I don't have the attention span or the desire to go that fast. I mean, all year long. So I'm going to be doing audiobooks.
Yeah.
And I've already read probably 6 Star Wars books, like within the past like year or so. And I've gotten really into it. I started watching Clone Wars. I've obviously seen the movies. I'm all into it. I'm like, I really like the whole world. Watch The Mandalorian. They got a Boba Fett series coming out. There's all these things coming on with Star Wars.
I'm so glad you already scored Vina.
You know what? She likes sci-fi. She's not into Star Wars as much as I am. But another sci-fi series, The Expanse, which is a great series on Amazon Prime. You should watch it, Allison.
Okay.
She's read like most of the books for that sci-fi series already. So she's into sci-fi. Like we watched Star Trek, Discovery, the new one together, and so she's not she's not as much into Star Wars as I am, but she's into some other sci-fi stuff.
Okay, so your goal is to read all 50 books in like a year and 2 months.
Yeah, to be able to keep pace with this challenge. That's my goal.
Okay, well then I think you have 4 really good goals. You have a weight loss goal, right? So that's your fitness goal. You have a financial goal, which is your retirement goal. You have your educational goal is you're reading books, and you have another fitness goal, which is to beat me in Peloton rides, which good luck with that.
You know what? I'm gonna burn myself out. I'm gonna ride like every day for like 3 months, just so I
and then you're gonna
up, and then like not ride for like 2 months.
That's the thing with Peloton. I had a friend ask me, "Oh my gosh, do you crave to ride it? Do you ride it all the time?" And at first, yes, I felt like I did, or like I got in this period, but then I got burned out on it. So now I've realized that I really only want to ride it like 4 times a week, 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah, that's like the max.
And
it becomes a chore.
Yeah, because it's like I don't look forward to it as much. Although, okay, don't make fun of me. Well, you are gonna. I should never preface anything with that. But I did a ride yesterday with Robin, and like it was just a really quick 20-minute ride. And I tell you, like she speaks directly to me. I was almost crying. Like I've been on Peloton rides where I've like cried at the end because they like speak to my soul. And I was crying on this ride yesterday, and I was like, people are going to think I'm an idiot if they like walk past me and I'm on this bike. I mean, when I say people, I'm talking about like my husband and my kids, and I'm like crying because she's speaking to me. My mascara is running everywhere. But I don't know. I mean, some of them are just like, they just speak to you. But then sometimes you don't want that. You're just like,
I don't want them to speak to my soul. I just want them to motivate me to exercise.
I want them to speak to my soul. It's like, it was all about, here's what it was. She was talking about the way you talk to yourself. And we are sometimes like so mean to ourselves in our head, in our internal conversation. So much she was doing this that I texted myself what she said. She said, every time you think something to yourself, I want you to ask yourself, what you just said, is it kind and is it powerful? Is
You
it
really did
kind?
write that down.
I really did write it down. In the middle of the ride, I was like, I can't forget this. And I was just like crying. I texted myself, is it kind? Is it powerful? I got off the ride and I immediately wrote this down on a sticky note and I put it on my computer because I was like, I need to check the way I'm talking to myself sometimes. Is what I'm saying kind? If it's not, it has no place in my head. And is it powerful? Is it lifting me up? Is it telling me that I can conquer things that my mind tells me I can't? And if it's not, it has no room in my head. That's what made me cry yesterday. So.
See, I'm not gonna make fun of you for that.
Thanks.
Now,
That's
crying
right.
on
Because
your
if you
Peloton,
did,
maybe a
I
little
would.
bit.
No, that's
Right.
not kind, and it's not powerful. Shut up, Chris. So,
Okay. No,
yeah.
that's good. I have no bad words to say to you about that. I think that's
Thank
good. Those are
you.
good words to say to
Appreciate
yourself.
it.
You need to be nicer to yourself, Allison.
I appreciate it. Well, if you're listening, we would love to hear your goals, to hear a couple of the goals that you're setting. And if you need a little goal guidance, feel free to try my four F's. It doesn't have to be four. If faith, if you're like, no, I don't want to do that, that's fine. I don't care. It's your goals. Fitness, same thing. Finance, please set a financial goal. Let that be a non-negotiable. Faith, finance, family, and fitness. So those are the four goals that you can set. And I highly recommend you write them in the notes app on your phone because then you can just look up previous years. And it's kind of fun to see like the goals you've set in the past.
Yeah.
To like go back and read them. You're like, oh, look, I knocked that out of the park.
You know what? When you were talking about fitness, I remember I say I'm really into fitness, Allison. Fitting this whole donut into my mouth.
Oh, gosh. Look, you want to hear some of my 2017 goals?
Yes.
It was work out and eat healthy. See, I don't like that. Now I realize that's not a very, like, I like having, okay, I want to ride 350 pounds. Yeah. Get better at work-life balance. Okay. That probably didn't happen. I should have been more specific. I should have said, turn off my computer at, this time of the night or only work one night of the week. Cause this was while I was also doing Inspired Budget, I think. No, it wasn't. It says, figure out if I still want to be a teacher.
I think you can check that off. I think you've determined you do not.
I did, and I did it in 2017. I started Inspired Budget. It made me laugh. And this says reduce stress level. And I see now that's not a good goal.
Specific enough.
It's not specific enough. And even for our kids, we did goals like increase sight words, read level A and B books. For our younger son, it was get potty trained, like our goal for that year.
Those are good ones. Those are solid.
Yeah. So it's fun to look back and see those.
No, it's good. All right, you've inspired me. I'm going to use your technique, and I'm going to write down those goals that we talked about, and I'm going to write down some more and get a real list going and be ready for 2021.
That's right.
That's
I'm
my
proud
goal
of you.
is to make a list of goals.
Your goal is to goal set. I love it.
There you go.
Awesome.
Well, thanks everyone for sticking around, joining us in the post show. Happy you could join us for our what would normally be a Patreon episode. I mean, it still will be, but you all got like a little sneak peek into some of our bonus ramblings afterwards after the podcast. But yeah, thank you so much for taking time to join us, and it's been a lot of fun. We'll be going live again whenever we figure out the date. So I don't think
we have a date.
Yet.
Yes,
do we have a date already? Okay, great.
Hold on. Let me find it.
Please let me know.
We are going live again on January 11th at 8:15 Central Time. Or that's what time we're supposed to meet. Maybe it'll be like right? 8 p.m. 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Chris and I are supposed to start meeting at 8:15, I think.
So we'll probably like 8:30, 8:45, somewhere in there. We'll post it on Instagram. You can follow us on Instagram at This Is Awkward Podcast, and we'll be sharing more details there once we get a little bit closer to the date.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks to all the patrons supporting us. And we're looking forward to talking to you all next time.
Bye.